My name is Joseph Crane, and this is the Earth Collective. I do not know you. I do not know your face. I do not know your name. And chances are good that by the time you hear this, I will have been gone for a long time. But that's okay, because right now it's me and you. And I'd like to tell you a story about people, a story about change. I want to tell a story of community, of hopefulness, a story of people working together to prepare for what comes next. A story of friends sitting around fires, sharing meals and drink together, the running feet and cackling laughter of children. One day, humanity left its home, saying goodbye for the last time. They set off into space to find home again, a place to plant their feet, air to fill their lungs. They left with no plans and only hope to keep them going. They screamed across the stars. At the end of their journey, they found home again. Oasis. Barely alive, humanity began to build, starting their lives again. Families were started, homes were built, and peace was a constant friend. Until that day, down came the dark. Many died, peace was lost, people fled for their lives. They left their homes. Only hope was there to keep them going. They left without plans, and yet again they screamed across space, the space on the very surface of this planet. This time their journey did not end. This time, they found home in their journey. They persevered. They adapted. They found happiness and life no matter where they were. On they rolled as they forged the path on Oasis. Life came, grew old. Life died. Generations came and went. This way of life was perfected more and more with each passing generation. Peace was with them once more. Humanity kept going. They kept going all the way until now, until this moment, with me and you. The moments after this will be as they've always been at this spot on the path, preparing for what comes next. We are now preparing to head into an area of Oasis that is covered in constant sheets of rain. Columns of sunlight shine all the way to the ground, like pillars reaching from heaven down to us. Cloud cover layers the sky with soft gray blankets, as indiscriminate portions flash and glow, as lightning dances above all of humanity, while they roll along a well-worn path they call home, one small section at a time. The collective is an ever-changing beast, a beast of man and machine crawling along the surface of Oasis in one single path, cycle after cycle after cycle. Everything changes a little. The vehicles move, people change ranks, but big changes happen when we go into new regions. All of the collective is at a standstill at the end of a straightway, and here we prepare to move into the next region. But first, before we prepare, we enjoy. Friends catch up, meals get eaten, and we just take the time to enjoy what's good about our lives. Life in the collective can be very difficult. Yes, that may be true, but it can also be beautiful. There's still laughter, there's still fun, there's still friends. We might live a hard life sometimes, but the truth is, we find a way to make it good, and we learn to enjoy it. That's what is happening outside of this caravan right now. Because in just a little bit of time, we will start preparing to change. And what does that mean for us? Well, we store food up before the Cloudburst region because the plants that are on our growing trailers don't grow as well because there's less light. So we collect our food before then. We have been for quite some time. The herders tighten up their herds to keep track of them. As a light flashes in the sky, it occasionally scares and scatters them. They tarp the dirt on the growing trailers to prevent them from being washed away. People bring out their warmer clothes and prepare to keep themselves comfortable as they go about their duties in the collective. They cover their purchase, the places that they sit on their vehicles or on the side of their vehicles, tarps or anything to keep the rain off their heads. Some vehicles pull out their pull ropes. They occasionally will tie them up to another vehicle and yank them out of the mud. An interesting thing that happens is the smaller, weaker vehicles form in a line in front of the larger, stronger vehicles. We do that because when a small vehicle gets stuck, the vehicles push together, piece by piece. The large ones and the small ones work together to push free whichever vehicle got stuck. And here we have the rain catchers. That's what we call utility vehicles when their purpose is to collect the fresh skyfall for drinking water. The utility vehicles near the front get these large wings put on the top of them that spread out over them like flat hands praising the sky. They stay near the front of the caravan in order to prevent any car dust from accumulating on the collection wings. That way they can get the cleanest, freshest water. As the rain falls, they fall on these wings and get poured into reservoir tanks that are on the backs of these utility vehicles. The reservoir tanks fill up with this water. As it fills up, the water is also ran through a filtering system. I'm not exactly sure the specifics, but I know it comes out safe to drink. Once a secondary reservoir is filled up with clean drinking water, smaller vehicles come by that have their own reservoirs and collect it. Each one of those vehicles goes back to their segments and deliver the clean water. Each person gets their rations. Now, yes, sometimes there are available rivers and streams and other sources of clean water that we can drink from, but this is a system that we have set in place, and it guarantees each segment enough drinking water to be comfortable. More than just the changing of how we do things on a small scale is also the changing of the way things feel. It feels calmer. People aren't running around quite as much because they try to stay under cover to stay out of the rain. People don't talk as much. They like to stay quiet, for the most part, at least in my segment. The path takes a little bit more concentration in this area due to the mud and the chance of getting stuck. But I think it's more than that. I think the way we feel changes. Sitting on our perches on our vehicles, looking out over the rolling hills of green plants, is as if there is no ground underneath them at all, but simply as if they are frozen waves of emerald green. Why do I tell you this? Well, simply because I think that it's important to know what life is like for us. That it's not always a struggle. It's not always a fight for our life, and it's not always miserable. That as the area on the path on Oasis changes as we travel, so do we as people, as a community. And as for me, well, I don't know if I'm changing as a person. Perhaps. And what's changing for me? Well, I don't know yet. I know that recording our history is important to me. I don't know what's going to happen next. I've set a meet with that woman, Emma, the one who's contacted me on the radio. I don't know if what she has to say is important or if it's even true. I got a feeling that maybe I shouldn't let this pass by. So when you hear from me next, I will have already talked to her. I will see what she wants, and I will tell you. Thank you for listening. Joseph Crane signing off.